Oh, hey there, Bruiser Nation. Welcome to another edition of the Bruze Cruze podcast, the only podcast to bring you pro wrestling for your ears. In Bruiser Nation, the wrestling world still grieves after the sudden passing of the late, great Jon Hubers, famously known as Brodie. And so, out of respect for him and his family, we're going to honor him in our own way on the Bruze Cruze podcast. We're going to take a week off our G1 Climax tournament coverage and take a detour excursion. We'll be calling 2 matches this week, both starring the Exalted One himself. First, I'll be calling Brodie versus Cody Rhodes in the dog collar match for the TNT Championship that just recently happened in October. Then, after a special music introduction of Fallen specifically for Brodie Jr., -1 as he likes to be referred to, we will be playing Fallen by Volbeat, and then I'll be calling Luke Harper versus Dolph Ziggler in a ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship from TLC 2014. So raise those anchors and get ready to ride the Jon Hubers edition of the Bruze Cruze. Cody has already made his way to the ring as I introed this very special excursion of the Bruze Cruze podcast, and here comes the Exalted One himself. Coming out in his white jacket, TNT Championship wrapped around his waist. The look in his eyes, one thing about Jon Hubers, Brodie Lee, Luke Harper, he always had the I'm ready to kick your ass look. This night was no different. A lot of history between these two. As we recall, Brodie did defeat Cody Rhodes for that TNT Championship September of 2020 in a pretty quick matchup, to be honest. Brodie really beat the living crap out of him real quick. Took him out with his discus clothesline. Justin Roberts announcing the competitors in this dog collar match. Neither man just yet has the dog collar around his neck. Now, we know these matches can be especially dangerous. They're giving us a little bit history. Greg the Hammer, the Valentine, was in attendance for this. I have only watched this match the one time when it was live, and that was a few months ago, so I don't remember everything as Cody rips the shirt off the American Nightmare himself. 265 pounds. The Exalted One. Mr. Brodie Lee. This was his final matchup before we lost him this following Saturday, December 26th of 2020. Before this begins, my condolences once again. I said it on Loganity, and I'll say it again. My condolences to his wife and children. I can only imagine what they are going through. Both men have the dog collars around their neck in their respective corners. And that's a long chain. Brodie's starting to tug at it. Cody's trying to tug back, a little bit of tug of war here as Brodie shortens the distance between the two with brute strength. Cody charges and runs into Jay Silver. Takes a boot to his face for the trouble. Brodie Lee's trying to, drops an elbow right to the falling Cody Rhodes across his chest. Stiff kick to the back. Body slam by Brodie Lee. Cody is still down. Still being careful with the placement. Another elbow to the chest of Cody Rhodes. Still being careful with the placement. Cover one. Just a 1 count for Brodie Lee on Cody Rhodes. And still careful with the placement of the dog collar. Cody tried to yank Brodie down to his level to no avail. Takes a kick to his face. John Silver's busted open on the outside after Cody ran into him. Tries an elbow with the chain wrapped around it and misses. Hits nothing but canvas on Cody. Is back up to his feet. Boots Brodie in the face. Running clothesline does not take the Exalted One down. Another running clothesline. The Exalted One is still on his feet. Hits him with a boot to the gut and then the dropping right hand. Patented dropping right hand by Cody. Step up cutter. No, Cody. No one was there. Brodie Lee was able to back off of that. Cody hit nothing but the canvas with his back. Brodie is on the outside. Now choking the life out of Cody Rhodes. From the inside out, dragging Cody by his throat to the outside of the ring. Uppercut by Brodie Lee. Huge face smash, lifting it up like a back suplex. Dropped his face onto the apron. Butcher and Blade handed a chair to Brodie Lee so John Silver could sit down and take a big-time drop kick for his trouble of sitting down. So much for the rest of Johnny Hungy. Brodie's got the dog collar again, yanking Cody back into the ring. Clotheslines him with the dog collar. This is a brutal affair already. They've only been wrestling for like 5 minutes. Just pulling on the dog collar itself to get Cody to his feet. DDT by Brodie Lee to Cody Rhodes. Anna Jay's out there checking on Johnny Silver, making sure he's okay. She does have gloves on to protect herself. The Exalted One has ordered John Silver out of here to get medical attention for that forehead bleeding. Taking the dog collar across the forehead of Cody Rhodes. Cody is bleeding. Can't help but wonder, did he hit that DDT on the chain to bust open Cody Rhodes? A tactical maneuver, if you will, by Mr. Brodie Lee, dropping him straight onto the chain just a few moments ago. Elbow to the open wound of Cody Rhodes, digging his hands in it, opening the cut more. Rolls back into the ring to a stumbling Cody Rhodes, who's only held up by being in the corner. Eats a big chop by Brodie Lee and then a clubbing forearm smash to the back of Cody Rhodes. Irish whip from Brodie to Cody. Cody ducks under. uses the dog collar to give Brodie a low blow and uses it as a weapon now. Russian leg sweep to Brodie Lee by Cody Rhodes with assistance of the dog collar. Now he's punching himself right in the open wound, trying to not hamper, but really fire himself up. Is this what Cody needed to take control of this? Brodie goes back out to the outside. Cody drags him in gut first into the apron by the dog collar. What a tope suicida to the outside by Cody on a Brodie Lee, who is wearing a literal crimson mask at this point in the matchup. Clubbing blow to the back of Brodie Lee, and another one. Brodie Lee recovers, tosses him over the barricade, grabs that dog collar once again, and pulls Cody Rhodes gut first into the barricade, and another one for good measure. How can the American Nightmare withstand this punishment? And a third one completely flipping him over the barricade. Arn Anderson looking on in concern, going up the steps to get out of the way of the competitors. Now Brodie Lee seems to be moving the timekeeper's table out so he can inflict further damage on the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Stiff kick to the shoulder of Cody Rhodes by Brodie Lee. Now he's got a chair, just tosses it into the ring. Looks like he's getting another one for good measure. Arn Anderson doesn't know what to think. A stiff, hard right hand by Brodie Lee to Cody Rhodes rolls him into the ring, setting the timekeeper's table right next to the apron. Brodie Lee has something nasty planned for Cody Rhodes. Grabs him by the dog collar. He's trying to choke slam Cody onto that table. Cody counters, punches him in the face. Another shot to the face, this time with a piece of that dog collar, and Cody pulls Brodie Lee and hits him with a cutter off of the apron. Cody didn't jump off the apron. He pulled Brodie off the apron and delivered a cutter to the falling Brodie Lee. And now he's just got this ridiculously sick smile on his face after recovering, and hopefully for Cody, taking full advantage of Brodie Lee's prone anatomy after taking a vicious cutter on the outside. Brodie Lee down on the outside, trying to get up. Cody rolls back into the ring. Dog collars are still attached to these two competitors, and now he's yanking at Brodie Lee to get him back into the ring. Brodie Lee's on his knees, hands on the apron. He will not let Cody drag him in. He's pulling himself in and takes a big-time right hand from Cody Rhodes for his trouble and delivers one of his own to Cody. Disaster kick by Cody to Brodie Lee on the apron. Brodie Lee is down on both knees. That table is still out there. Cody rolls back out to the apron to try to inflict further damage to Brodie Lee. A clubbing blow to the back of Mr. Brodie Lee. Double underhooks the arms. Oh my God! Oh my God! Double underhook, small package, pile driver, whatever you want to call it, by Cody Rhodes to Brodie Lee off the apron and through the timekeeper's table. My God. Referee's checking on both men. I don't know why he checked Cody's neck first. Brodie Lee's the one who took a head dive through the table to the floor. Now he's checking Brodie Lee, making sure everybody's all right. That table is in pieces And now Brodie Lee has been busted open after taking the small package pile driver. Rolls Brodie Lee into the ring via the outside. Cody goes for the cover on a bruised and broken Lee too. Oh, 2 3/4. Brodie Lee kicks out, and now he is wearing the proverbial crimson mask. Both competitors profusely bleeding in this matchup. Now Cody's thinking, what in the hell do I have to do to put this man down? Pile drove him through a table, and it still was not enough to keep the exalted one, Brodie Lee, down for 3. He's exhausted, propping himself up in the corner, wobbly legs, a nice replay of that package pile driver. Wile E. Coyote Cam package pile driver, dear Lord. They just gave us like 4 replays of that pile driver through the table to the outside off of the apron. Cody may have controlled the bleeding a bit. He doesn't seem to be bleeding as badly, but Brodie Lee is completely busted open. Now Cody has the dog collar in both of his hands, telling Brodie Lee to bring it. Come on, Brodie Lee back to his feet and takes a chain to the head for getting up, and a clothesline with the chain. Brodie Lee still on his feet. Vertical flapjack by Cody Rhodes to the bleeding and bruised Brodie Lee, and lashes him with the dog chain. Is he going to do it one more? Here he goes. He whacks him across the back with the chain yet again. Wraps it around his hand, and now right hand to the forehead of Brodie Lee, and another one. Brodie Lee is out right now. There is no stopping this one. You can only win via pinfall or submission. The referee is checking on Brodie, making sure he's not too wrapped up, and making sure that chain is still connected to the dog collar. Another shot to the forehead after Brodie made it to his feet. It did not take him down, the monster of a man that he was. Now Cody's got the chain wrapped around the turnbuckle and chokes Brodie with it with all his strength, boots him in the gut, takes it off of the turnbuckle. Well, attempts to take it off of the turnbuckle. There he goes. Right hand to the forehead of Brodie Lee, drags him back out to the center of the ring, face first into the other turnbuckle. Once again, Cody wraps it a good 3-4 times around his hand and puts his hand on the turnbuckle pad, smashing Brodie Lee's face right into the chain. Brodie Lee counters an Irish whip attempt, tossing Cody right over the ropes. Here we go, the recovery by Brodie Lee. He is choking Cody Rhodes with the chain over the rope all the way across to the other end of the ring. Drags him in with brute force. Big time sidewalk slam cover. 1, 2. He pulled him in with that dog collar chain to deliver that vicious sidewalk slam. Brodie Lee is getting sick of this. He's trying to get out of this matchup any way he can. Seems like he's gotten his second win now. Hits Cody in the forehead with a wrapped fist, the chain wrapped around, and another one. Greg the Hammer Valentine looking out of the crowd as he watches him deliver a third shot to the forehead with a wrapped fist. Like, dang, that hurts. You can just see the look on Greg the Hammer Valentine's face. Brodie Lee is so incensed right now. He's throwing chairs at Arn Anderson, and Arn Anderson is in the ring. Alex Reynolds comes in and takes a spine buster for his trouble by the great Arn Anderson, who takes a shot to the gut with a wrapped fist by Brodie Lee, but this distraction has allowed Cody to grab the chain, hit Brodie in the back cover. 1, 2, nice roll-up attempt, but Brodie is still able to kick out at 2. Kick to the gut and another, oh no, he did not hit him with the right hand, he hit him with a kick to the face this time. Another wrapped fist shot to the forehead of Brodie Lee and now to the gut of Brodie Lee. Just whips Brodie with that chain. 2, 3 forearm shots with the chain there, and he's wrapping his hand again. Big right hand to the forehead by Cody Rhodes with the chain wrapped around his hand. Veal by Cody to Brodie, and now he's choking him with the chain from behind. Brodie Lee seated in the center of the ring, Cody above him from behind, choking the life out of the Exalted One, Brodie Lee. Sadistic smile on the face of Cody Rhodes. Climbs to the top rope. I don't know if this is a good idea in a dog collar match. Moonsault, Cody Rhodes, he hit it. Cover, 1, 2. Brodie kicks out at 2 again. Once again, Cody wraps that chain around his fist, looking for a knockout shot on the Exalted One, but takes a boot to the arm for his trouble and a super kick by Brodie Lee. Cody counters another super kick attempt, hits him with the crossroads. 1. Brodie kicked out at 1. Kicked out at 1 of the crossroads after all this sheer brutality. Oh, Cody is pissed now. Now he's really thinking, what in the hell do I have to do? Tries to get Brodie onto his back with a double underhook. Can he do it? No, Brodie Lee flips over from behind and super kick to Cody Rhodes. Another super kick to Cody Rhodes. Power bomb by Brodie Lee. Cover, 1, 2. Cody kicks out at 2. And Brodie Lee, all he could do was just lay on Cody for that cover. He couldn't hook the leg, couldn't cover the entire chest of Cody. That may have cost him there, but he is completely exhausted and beaten down. What a huge power bomb that was. 2 men separated by the ring post, and Cody drags Brodie Lee into the ring post via the dog chain. Cody once again going up to the ropes, this time just his feet on the middle rope. Brodie Lee delivers a stiff right hand to the head. Hard uppercut by Brodie Lee to Cody Rhodes, who is still up on the turnbuckle. Superplex off the top. Brodie attempts it and he hits it on Cody Rhodes. Superplex from the top. We're going for it. Looks like the ref is beginning his 10 count. Both men are down in the center of the ring. Completely spent, bruised, bloody, beaten down. They have lived up to the hype of this dog collar match. A kneeling right hand by Brodie, and Cody responds in kind. Brodie gives him another one. Now Cody just slams the head of Brodie Lee into the canvas, and again for good measure. Jab by Cody. Bounces off the ropes. Dragon suplex by Brodie Lee to running Cody Rhodes. Now he's got his third wind. He's looking to finish this off and get out of this brutal matchup. Has to use the ropes to pull himself up. Discus clothesline. Cody counters. Floats over the top and delivers a spinning, not really a crossroads, one of Goldust's old finishers, but he is not able to make the cover. The final cut. My bad. And now he's got the chain wrapped around the head of Brodie, right across the face and the nose and the teeth and the eyes. Dear God. Hammering away at the forehead of BRODIELEE. Chain still wrapped around his neck. Cody hits a crossroads. Cover 1, 2, 3. That is it. In a brutal encounter, Cody Rhodes defeats the Exalted One, BRODIELEE, for the TNT Championship. And what a brutal affair that was, Bruiser Nation. Dear Lord. We'll take a quick break, Bruiser Nation. We will play Fallen by Volbeat in between, still honoring the Exalted One, BRODIELEE. Quite frankly, I think Fallen fits. It's more of a dedication to his son, putting it in there, than anything else. If you've ever heard the song, you'll know what I'm referring to. If not, it's a pretty good song, and I think it really fits the situation that young Brodie has found himself in after losing his father so suddenly. Stay good, Bruiser Nation. I'm always good, and we'll be right back. And here we go, Bruiser Nation. Welcome back to the Bruze Cruze podcast, the only podcast that brings you pro wrestling for your ears. Match 2 of our special excursion, the Jon Hubers excursion, if you will. This will be one of the first times we've done a double matchup, but I think it's only right to show two different sides of Jon Hubers, BRODIELEE, Luke Harper, whatever you prefer to call him. He was called all of these things in the back, so it's more your preference. Appearing as Luke Harper, facing Dolph Ziggler in an Intercontinental Championship ladder match from TLC 2014. The crazy eyes that he is so mastered on full display as Luke Harper makes his way to the ring, staring at ladders as we go. Dolph Ziggler has already entered the ring. Right now, Luke Harper is the Intercontinental Champion. Shoves a ladder down to the floor. Ziggler is the former champion, defeated by Luke Harper, as he stares at the Intercontinental Championship hanging from the rafters. The bell has rung, and Lillian Garcia introduces from Cleveland, Ohio, Dolph Ziggler. I'm pretty sure that they were in Cleveland for this. He just got a huge ovation from the crowd. 275 pounds of Luke Harper, the Intercontinental Champion of the time. Wow. Very somber occasion here on the Bruze Cruze podcast. Both men staring at the Intercontinental Championship hanging from the rafters. A huge ovation for Dolph Ziggler. Let's go Ziggler chance, but takes a boot to the gut for his trouble. Quickly tries to powerbomb Dolph Ziggler. Ducks under a clothesline. Brodie Lee backs away from a super kick attempt by Dolph Ziggler. And now they're both going out to the side of the ring for some ladders. Brodie's got one of the short ones. He might even be tall enough to reach it with that one. Ziggler's got one of his own, and they're just going out, throwing ladders in the ring. There are now 4 ladders in the ring, and now they meet each other on the outside. Dolph Ziggler takes a boot to the gut and gets thrown into a ladder on the outside for his trouble. Tossing the ladder around with reckless abandon is it's Luke Harper. And Dolph is all Cleveland out, loving being in his hometown, gets tossed over the barricade. And Luke Harper very quickly going back to the ring, trying to finish this match quickly. Setting a ladder up right in the middle. It's pretty early to be doing this. It's a risky move. Starts his climb. Dolph Ziggler has recovered, runs back into the ring and pushes down the ladder, but Brodie lands on his feet and boots Ziggler right in the face. Yanking the ladder, placing it down, not really placing it, he yanked it down to its side after that. Jeez, that lunging big boot. I'm going to miss that so much. Luke Harper has another ladder, this time setting it up as a bridge across from the apron and the announcer's table. Ducks under the ladder, grabs Dolph Ziggler, attempting to powerbomb him through this. Is he going to be able to powerbomb Dolph Ziggler through the ladder? Dolph is able to counter and slide off the back of Luke Harper, charges at Luke Harper, and what a mistake that was by Dolph Ziggler. Eats a huge sidewalk slam on the outside for his trouble. Let's see that again, please. Yes, thank you. Look how safe he was. He let go of Dolph pretty early on in that sidewalk slam to make sure he didn't really hurt him, because woo, you slam somebody like that on the floor, you're going to hurt somebody. You've heard a lot of good things about Luke Harper, Brodie Lee, Jon Hubers. Well, that's one of them. I can't think of a time he ever hurt anybody. Tossing ladders around with more reckless abandon. Getting another one set up in the middle of the ring. Climbing again. Dolph is on the apron. Slides in. Barely able to get to the legs of Brodie Lee. Yanks him back down to his level. And takes a chop to the face for his trouble. And gets thrown into the ladder face first. And the ladder is just pushed over onto Dolph Ziggler. That might have caught him right in the head. Dragging Dolph Ziggler up by his hair, sets him up in the corner, slap to the face. Replay of that. Yeah, that caught him right in the top of the head. Ouch. Dolph is still in the corner getting sandwiched with the ladder, and Luke Harper just throws it at him. I'm so used to calling him Brodie Lee. Dolph Ziggler in the corner with a ladder on top of him and throws it into a rushing Brodie Lee. Taking the big man down on the canvas. Can Ziggler regroup, recover, and take control of this matchup after that? Climbs to the top turnbuckle with the ladder, but Brodie does a running boot to the ladder, knocking Dolph Ziggler off the top rope and onto the floor. Luke Harper with a ladder high above his head and tosses it at Dolph Ziggler right in the face on the outside over the top rope. Not Dolph Ziggler, but the ladder over the top rope to the outside, nailing Dolph Ziggler right in the face. The Cleveland native is down and out on the outside. But has the wherewithal to grab another ladder that's on the outside. Brodie Tope Suicida on the, oh my God! Hits the ladder, takes Dolph Ziggler down, and then crashes onto the ladder that was on the floor. Wow. 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 He might have regretted that the second he landed. Jeez. A replay of that just made it look even more nasty. That arm is hanging and Dolph Ziggler leaps over the back to get into the ring and get a ladder set up. He knows this may be his only opportunity to have the big man in a position to climb that ladder. Trying to get it set up right under the Intercontinental Championship. Quickly climbs the ladder, but Luke Harper is there to grab the leg just as Dolph just barely touches the gold. Kicking Luke Harper off once, twice to the chest, knocking the big man down. Had his fingertips on it again, but Luke Harper shoves the ladder down, sending Dolph Ziggler crashing to the canvas and nailing the top rope on his way down. Just with his arm, though, Dolph Ziggler was very safe with that. He was like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to do the old drop the head over it, so I'll just spin around in the air. Now, Luke Harper is setting the ladder up as another bridge, this time in the corner, and that one still set up on the apron slides a ladder into the face of Dolph Ziggler. Kicking the braces there in the middle to set the ladder down in the middle of the ring. What is on Luke Harper's mind right now? Because it doesn't seem like climbing it is on his mind at this moment in time. Dragging Dolph Ziggler by his hair yet again. He's going to try a powerbomb onto the ladder that's laying face down in the middle of the ring. Dolph Ziggler able to slide over the back again, and a huge dropkick by Dolph Ziggler, dropping Luke Harper onto the ladder. Goes for a famouser. Luke Harper has him up in a powerbomb position, spins around and powerbombs Dolph Ziggler on the bridge ladder that's across the ropes. Dear Lord, Dolph bounced, the ladder bounced. Luke Harper looks like he's having a great time demolishing the Cleveland native Dolph Ziggler with that spinning powerbomb onto the ladder. Dolph is a mess, marks and bruises all over his body. Yanking the hair yet again, Luke Harper is. Dolph Ziggler's just barely being supported by the bottom rope. What's Luke Harper have in mind this time? Places the ladder on the prone Dolph Ziggler. Oh, this isn't going to be good. Looks like he's going for a slingshot. Oh my God. Slingshots Dolph Ziggler and the ladder, smashing the face of Dolph Ziggler onto the ladder while getting choked with a bunch of momentum. Uses the ladder to shove Dolph Ziggler to the outside. Here is Luke Harper's opportunity to climb the rungs of success and keep his Intercontinental Championship. Dolph Ziggler is busted open. Oh, looks like Luke Harper will not be climbing the ladder. He set it back up in the corner. He is more interested in damaging Dolph Ziggler than claiming the Intercontinental Championship at this point in time. The referee is out there checking on Dolph Ziggler, who is a lying heap on the outside. And he has decided to actually climb the ladder instead of setting things up for more damage. Dolph Ziggler sees him and runs back in the ring with reckless abandon, right hand on the ladder. Both men trading blows. Huge haymakers by Luke Harper. Dolph Ziggler responds in kind. 2, 3, 4, 5 right hands. Both men are down off the ladder onto the canvas. The look of surprise on Luke Harper's face says it all. Luke Harper grabbing another ladder on the outside of the ring. What is on this crazy man's mind? Shoves the ladder to the shins of Luke Harper. Luke Harper responds in kind by kicking it right back at Dolph Ziggler. And this thing's just sliding around the ring because it's not set up. He's going to powerbomb Dolph Ziggler again. Oh, a huge X Factor to Luke Harper from Dolph Ziggler, countering the powerbomb attempt face first into the ladder. This may be his only chance to get up there. Still wobbly legged, can barely get to his feet. Completely incensed. Climbing the ladder, trying to get to the Intercontinental Championship. Luke Harper is back on his feet and grabs the ankles of Dolph Ziggler. Yanks him off the ladder, but Dolph Ziggler is able to counter and deliver a DDT onto Luke Harper. Both men are down on the canvas in this brutal affair of a ladder match from TLC 2014. Oh, a replay of that DDT. Luke Harper is up to his feet first. And if you hear my dog Buster in the background, sorry, Bruiser Nation, it happens. Oh, puts the ladder around his head and swings it, nailing the ladder. In turn, hitting Dolph Ziggler with that ladder. Spins again and hits Dolph with it. Creativity on full display here by Luke Harper. Tries to do it again and misses and takes a super kick to the ladder to the face by Dolph Ziggler. What more does Dolph Ziggler have to do here to defeat Luke Harper? Very quickly after that shot, Luke Harper is on his feet. Takes a slam from a ladder right to the face, and now he is laying prone on the bridge ladder that is on the apron to the announce desk. Dolph Ziggler is prone on the apron. What does he have to do to defeat Luke Harper? Because that's not going to be enough to be able to climb that ladder. A huge mistake by Dolph Ziggler. He should have tried for something because Luke Harper is back on his feet, shaking the ladder and shoving Dolph Ziggler off yet again, crashing to the canvas from the top of the ladder. These two men have beat the living hell out of each other. Luke Harper's bleeding from his armpit, his other arm, the right armpit, the left arm. Dolph Ziggler is bloody and bruised. Getting some "this is awesome" chants. God, I miss crowds at wrestling shows. Luke Harper once again sets a ladder up in the middle of the ring, but drops to his knees. He is spent and beaten down. Dolph Ziggler skimmies across the apron, climbs to the top rope, has a ladder, dear Lord, and pushes the ladder onto Luke Harper. Dolph Ziggler's on the ladder, halfway up. Luke Harper is on the canvas. This is Dolph Ziggler's moment. Harper's out of it. Nope, he's back to his feet. Chases Dolph Ziggler up the ladder, delivers 2 clubbing blows to the back of Dolph Ziggler. Now he sets a ladder up right next to the other one, and he's gonna climb as well. Super kick by Dolph Ziggler to Brodie from one ladder to another, sending Luke Harper all the way down to the canvas. And that is it. Dolph Ziggler in his hometown reclaims the Intercontinental Championship from Luke Harper in a hard-fought ladder match, opening the show the best way as far as I'm concerned, with brutality, quickness, and 2 superstars in their own right. What a matchup, Bruiser Nation, and I hope you enjoyed this special edition of the Bruze Cruze podcast dedicated to the second coming Bruiser Brodie, who left this world far too early, Jon Hubers. May you rest in peace, good sir, and my sincerest condolences to your friends and family during this difficult time. Hug your loved ones, Bruiser Nation. Don't let anyone be forgotten. If you haven't talked to someone that was close for a long time, maybe you should, because you never know when that last day comes and you won't be able to talk to them again. Stay good, Bruiser Nation, because I'm always good.